I'ma walk on the beat. I eat my plate and it make me obese. I've been pushing lyrics like a kingpin. And when the day we got them.
Spread love is the Brooklyn. We were talking about that.
Yes.
I love when they incorporate love into the clothing lines and stuff like that, like with the red and stuff.
Yes.
The themes. I like the themes.
This is a shirt from a company called Stoop and Stank, and I own more of their T-shirts.
Stoop
than
and
I think.
Stank.
Got
it.
Stoop and Stank.
They're out of Philly. It's black owned, black female owned too. And
out of Philly. The city of brotherly love.
Yeah.
We've been talking about Philly the last couple of weeks.
With the craziest fans, though. Philly fans don't give a damn.
Yeah. But there's like that whole northern part of the country that don't give a damn. But black-owned business.
Wait, I'm from Philly. I'm a Philly John.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Philly John.
Yeah.
All right, so where's the best cheesesteak then? Don't worry, I'll wait. Tell me.
Pads.
Ooh. Oh.
I've been to Philly 2 times.
No Max's?
Not enough to actually
I don't
take
even know
it in.
Max's is. I'm sorry.
Max's is like in the hood.
Yeah.
That's where I go. Max's.
I do love a Philly cheesesteak, though.
I went to Max's and got a cheesesteak. It looks like a rifle. Shout out to Max's. And cause I gotta listen.
Chico.
You not? Am I past the 8-second mark?
Yes, definitely.
I got this.
I did it on purpose this time.
Monstrosity. Bro, I got a picture of this thing. I'm holding it, pause, and it's like laying on my shoulder, pause. It looks like a rifle. Huge. Like there's no reason why anything should be that big that they sell for consumption, pause. But yeah, it was definitely, it's not in a real welcoming part of Philadelphia. I felt at home. You know what I'm saying? We were out there doing promo runs and everything else, and I always go to Max's, but people tell me, I think Ooey Gooey's is another one, or that I might be mistaken. I don't know. Ooey Gooey's, I think, is another place in Philly. But Max's, so I'm always, when somebody tells me where they're from, I ask them which is the food place that they prefer.
Right.
So I didn't know, I thought you were a New York girl, but you're
No,
Philly.
I'm from Philly. I moved to New York early because I lived there longer than I lived in Philly, so I feel like a New Yorker.
Right.
But I was born and
where you're
raised
from
in
is where
Philly.
you're at. So you're in Atlanta now.
Yeah.
I'm no longer in Florida. I gotta do something with these tattoos. I guess. I don't know. I'm in Atlanta. I mean, where do you still have dual citizenship, or do you consider yourself to be a Georgian?
I always say I'm from Atlanta, but then if the conversation gets deeper, I would say I'm originally from Florida.
Yeah, from Florida, born and raised, in the bottom of the map, baby. Yeah,
and South Florida is different than any other part of Florida.
Yes.
Believe it. Yes.
That's the part we call Florida. I was joking with my friends. They was like, "Yeah, I'm from Tallahassee." I said, "That's not Florida," even though it's the capital. It's like hilly and cold up there.
I watched the shout out to the ESPN 30 for 30s, the All About the You documentary.
Yeah.
And they
2
made
parts,
a point,
by the way.
right? The first part where they draw the line from Okeechobee down, and they say this is the state of Miami.
Yeah.
That's literally.
Well, that's Billy Corbin from Florida.
Yeah,
the guy
that's
who
what
did
that's what I thought.
documentary.
Yeah,
Was
it's called
like-
Palm.
He
It's
also
called
did
Palm
Cocaine
Beach
Cowboys.
Broward
Yes.
Dade.
And Cocaine Cowboys was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And where I'm from, you heard nothing but Miami stuff, so it is
Right.
Miami.
Yeah, from Okeechobee down, I considered all that, to be Miami. So
I agree.
Right.
I grew up in a wild part of Miami. I grew up in a good time in Miami. I was telling my wife that I regret nowadays, like some of the things that I did, or me and the OG were talking about Splashdown, the first hip hop concert on Virginia Key Beach, which was the first black beach. Some of the different things that we grew up and seeing in Florida, I thought everybody had access to a beach. I thought everybody had access to palm trees and everybody's weather was good year round as a kid.
Yeah.
And then I started going and seeing snow and going to different cities, and it's like, y'all don't have no grass here. Like,
No
how do y'all-
grass. It's just concrete.
Just concrete. Like, man, that was
Yeah.
surreal to get out of the world.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, definitely disrespectful.
In the winter, the snow is so high, you'd be over here like, well, where does this go? And they'd be like, yeah, just leave it.
It just melts.
It just melts,
melts.
yeah, and then it
It just
turns
melts.
into
It
slush
turns
and
dirty.
slud. Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever seen dirty snow? It's fucked up.
Northerners
Every day.
are a different type of. You
Beast?
brothers and sisters are. Yeah.
That's why they come to
You guys
down
are made
south
of
and be
something
like,
different.
this is great.
I love to dress up in the cold weather.
Well, it's great
I
for
love
about
hoodies and
7
stuff,
days.
but it's ice
I hate it.
and slow and sludge or whatever
you
it
get
is.
used to it.
I don't like it. I never got used to it. Atlanta, that's why I've actually never moved past Atlanta.
Yeah.
I actually never wanted to move to Atlanta, but I knew that my career would. I
Had to make it
be
happen.
here.
Had to relocate.
Right.
Yeah.
You ceilinged out. That's what Tony Neal, shout out to Tony Neal and Bigger Rank, and they told me at one point in time, you've ceilinged out in Tampa. Like you've done
You hit the ceiling.
everything
Yeah.
that you're gonna do.
Keep in mind, I only went to Tampa because I ran track in college. And then I just so happened, then my dad moved to Tampa because he had a job transfer. So then my dad was in Tampa. So that's the only reason I kind of stayed around for a little bit. But I always knew that I had to either go to Miami, Houston, or Atlanta.
Right.
Because at the time, I don't know if you remember, Miami was lit. They had Briscoe and all those guys. Young Money had just moved down there. The Hurricane Katrina took a lot of Cash Money down there, so it was a lot of stuff going on in Miami.
Ozone Awards type-ish.
Yes.
Then remember, Houston was lit at the time. Atlanta was coming.
Right.
But I just heard, again, I've said this before, I heard Greg Street on the radio, and I said,
Gotta be there.
This is it. This is where I'm going to be at.
Yeah, you know, when you come to Wakanda, because that's Atlanta, when you come to Wakanda and you'll walk around and you'll see the stuff that any other city, and I'm born and raised in Miami and lived in New York and lived in Cali and all that stuff, but there's not really a lot of access to the things in those cities like there is in Atlanta. Atlanta, it really is its own animal, and I'm so thankful to have started and my kids, you know, have started their careers here, their lives here.
Me too.
You know, my youngest daughter is finding herself here in the city of Atlanta, in the city, in the Peach State. So I'm thankful. Every city has its pros and its cons. You know what I mean? Traffic is atrocious, whatever it is, and blah, 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 blah. But the city of Atlanta has been amazing to me, has been amazing to my business, and has been amazing to my family. And I love the city of Atlanta. And I say all that to say this. Before you come to the city of Atlanta with your music, you know, understand that you have to respect this city. So it's much like going into any other city. People tell you, I don't believe in checking in and all this shit. I do.
It's hard to break out of a city that you're not from. You know, so I know a lot of people move here thinking this is Mecca and that they'll break out of here, but very few people that are from outside of Atlanta break in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Unless they've been here for a while.
People in Atlanta have a hard time breaking in Atlanta.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is it better to be a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond? Which is better for a career?
I think when they come to Atlanta, the ones that blindly move in and are willing to sleep on somebody's couch, those are the ones that think that, you know, sacrifice is going to make them successful. And to a degree, it will. But for the vast majority of people, you know, coming to Atlanta is access. The downside to it is that how many of those artists that come to the city to gain that access actively try to go get it,
right?
Or actively in studios. And you mentioned in one of our recent episodes, you had at least said 6 names that I heard of that you said you interned for. How many of these artists that are wanting to follow in those same footsteps or in that same trajectory to stardom aren't willing to intern for themselves? Right. They're not willing to learn how to do something that they didn't know how to do in order to get good at it. How many of them won't intern for themselves, let alone for somebody else? How many of them will say, I came home, I just did my 9 to 5, I'm going to give myself 3 hours towards learning graphic design because as I want to put out these projects and posters and stuff, I want to be able to not have to send that expense. I would rather invest the expense on graphic designers, on marketing and advertisements. So I'm going to use this downtime into learning how to set up my ads account and then into learning how to do the designs that I'm ultimately going to want to run ads on because I have a goal. Most people won't do that.
Sounds difficult.
It is difficult. It's supposed to be difficult, Rory, because if it were easy, any asshole could do it.
Right.
But that's the problem. It sounds difficult. So therefore, what do? Oh, I ain't going to do that.
I think that's the point of anything in life, though. Those who put in the work win.
Yeah.
Anything you want to do, if you want to get good at it and proficient at it and really succeed at it, you've got to actually fucking do it.
Yeah.
But the problem, now we add the music part into it. Now that's a different dynamic, right? Who are your fans? Where are they from? A lot of people who move to Atlanta, their first set of fans are usually from where they're from. So where are you from? Are you from Topeka, Kansas? Because you're going to have to generate new fans in Atlanta, new support. People don't know who you are. And this is a city where I don't give a
Not forgiving.
I don't give a who you are. Nigga.
Yeah. It's not a forgiving city.
You're going to have to show me. And not only me, you're going to have to show
but
3,000 of me.
And it's a small city because there's only a handful of people that you can call to gauge or measure somebody's buzz in this city. You just can't, not every city has the overwhelming amount of influencers, curators, tastemakers, and gatekeepers that Atlanta has. There are some cities that don't have any. That there may be a person who's a transplant who comes from New York and visits the DMV and visits Philly and Jersey and Richmond and Michigan and then goes back to New York. That's the only person that may circle around those areas there. Atlanta, there's one in every fucking building. And especially if you don't know what you're doing, They really ready to sell you a bridge then. Oh, you don't need to put out no music, bro. You need to go playlist route. Before you go playlist route, let's get the big feature. Let's go to the radio station. What about the jewelry? You got to get the jewelry, bro. What about the clothes? You got the speaker man's phone number?
Before you start,
man,
give me $10,000.
Yeah, let me get 10,000 to plug it all in for you.
Give me 10,000.
Well, if you don't sit your hillbilly ass down somewhere and take that 10,000 and shove it up your ass twice and sit on Sunday,
Then
I
you
know
look
something.
3 weeks later, you be like, wait, what? What happened?
The problem with the music business is that the people don't know the business; they just know the music.
Right.
And you can know all the music you want. Go beat on a drum. If you don't want to
It's
make
not
no
enough.
money off of this shit, go beat on a drum. Go volunteer.
It's not enough.
There are programs right now where you can go donate your time and musical talents and ability to help people, and it will be more rewarding and fulfilling for you than trying to do something that you don't want to do. You don't want to type out your own lyrics. That's why you don't have your publishing taken care of. That's why you don't see residuals on your money. That's why you're always broke. That's why you don't feel like doing this. And that's why you don't, because it all comes back to you, my boy, my girl, brothers and sisters, men, women, and children of all shapes and sizes and colors. The person in the mirror is the one responsible for this working or it not working, period. It's not the boogeyman. It's not the Easter bunny. You can't wish this shit. You can't write this shit. You can't write a letter to Make-A-Wish Foundation and say, I'm just growing up, I got it on my own, and everybody around me that went to dead and died and in jail, and I got a sad story, and my dream is to do as little as possible and make everything in the world. Please help me become this. What? Where does that happen? And
In
that's
books.
the problem,
That's
bro.
it.
It's a
Fairy tale.
tale. And because somebody else tells you to live your dream, never give up, never listen to what a naysayer has to say. And then they go jump in their $100,000 car and they drive to their $800,000 house and they sit there and they eat their $65 a carton pistachio ice cream on their $1,700 couch, watching their 90-inch television, paying for their exuberant cable. While you're trying to figure it out,
You
bro,
realize you just
you're
described
sitting
me,
at home
except for pistachio
with a
ice cream.
with a pack of ramen noodle soup, bro, and you're sitting there watching Instagram and you're thinking to yourself, that's what I'm gonna do when I get rich. Not working towards being rich. You looking at something somebody else is doing
And you just want it.
I'm gonna do that too, cause that looks cool. What?
I was talking to Wendy less than 24 hours ago, and we were just talking about how, you know, a good deed or something that gets done for said artist, the artist just takes it and just says, tells everybody. When in reality, you want to just be as professional as possible. I think unprofessionalism or professionalism needs to be taught. So let me kind of reset the room by saying, people, what you don't know is what you don't know.
Right.
So if you're not professional enough to even say, okay, it's like solving a crime. What are all the things to make me become a better artist, or how do I solve what it is? Like, what are you trying to solve? Me trying to get fans. How do you get fans? Where are they at? Who are they? What do they look like? Where do they live? If you're not asking yourself these questions, how would you even think to start? You're just gonna look on Instagram and be like, I can do that.
Right.
I can do that. So then when people do things for you, you just tell everybody and be like, yeah, I'm making it. I'm good. I'm out here. No, you're not good.
You're not
You're getting
good.
help
Right.
from people who are professionals. People who are professionals are professionals. You're not. Therefore, what is the things that you need to continue to do to make you a better artist? People don't think that way. They just think, they sit back and say, all right, you just helped me do that. Help me do something else.
No, you know, Rory.
No.
You know, Wendy Day. You're driving the Tesla. I'm not. Why don't you help me? I'm a kid, just like you were a kid.
Did what I
Rory.
say
Weren't
make
you a
sense?
kid, Rory?
Okay.
Didn't you have dreams, Rory? Didn't you have dreams, Wendy? Didn't you sleep in the back of a car? I'm sleeping in a car. Why won't you help me?
It's not my job to help
you. You got to help yourself, bro.
Yeah.
Because sleeping in that car, her sleeping in that car gave her what she needed so that she can be successful at the next level. You sleeping in that car and not getting what you need is exactly why you're
And
not
only that,
successful.
I'm not your father.
I ain't your daddy.
I'm not your dad.
Even
I'm
if
not
I
your
were,
parent.
even
And
if
I'm
I
hard
were
on
your
my
parent.
kids
Well.
myself. So therefore, I'm not going to treat you any different.
Right.
And especially if you're a grown adult.
You gotta want this.
I can't want it for you.
You gotta want
And
this.
if,
I can't
if,
want
if
it
I
for
want
you.
it for you more than you
I've-
want it for yourself,
I've
then I'm going
dragged-
to politely.
I've dragged rappers across
Pivot.
the finish
Pivot.
line.
I'm gonna
It's-
pivot.
I'm gonna pivot.
It's not fun.
But I do see that a lot.
and they
I do see
always
that.
self-destruct. Always. Every fucking time.
I just see it so many times that artists, and it could be R&B artists, it could be young, old, whoever, they just sit back and say, all right, what else can you do for me? It ain't that. No, I need to see you actively doing things to put yourself in position to win.
Right.
It's almost like playing sports. You have to continuously work, especially if you want to play football. If you want to play football, you need to be hitting the push-ups every day, because as soon as you get hit, when you catch that ball, you're going to get a broken bone or something. You have to work out.
Right.
You have to
Gotta
work
get
out.
tough.
If you don't work out, when you get on that football field and you get hit, it's a wrap. You're out for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, a whole season, tear your ACL. You have to work out. And I think with this,
Conditioning.
you have to condition yourselves as that. I always compare it to boxing. You have to think you're the greatest. Mm-hmm. You have to carry yourself that way, but you have to be as humble as possible. But then you also have to put in the work, because you cannot go out there. You're gonna get knocked out in the first round.
We talked about it. OG talked about it.
You're going to get knocked out in the first round.
Feat in the world is Floyd Mayweather. 52-0, 54-0.
Never
undefeated,
lost.
never lost. It's never happened in the history
Never
of sports.
happened.
Boxer.
Never lost.
Well, he lost in music.
Well, he's still taking L's in music.
We can talk about that.
Anybody who knows who signed to
out.
the Mayweather Money Team Records, please drop their name in the comments below.
Without Googling.
Without Googling. Don't Google.
Can we just unpack that real quick? It's a perfect example of it's not about the money.
Never
it's
been about the money.
Here, who you are, and who these people are out here saying, oh, I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you so much. I'm going to spend my
believe in you
money
too.
that I earned and come to your concert. I don't have to do that if I don't want to.
Right.
But I want to. That's what it's
I'm
about.
eager to. I'm going to go buy
eager to.
clothes. I'm going to go get a haircut. I'm going to
Yes.
go wash the car. I'm going to go pay for parking.
I'm gonna
take money out of the
send my girl
ATM.
some money so she can come with me so she can look good.
Come on.
That really means I care.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna bring somebody with me and pay for their shit.
No, Rari, those are the ones you call stupid, remember? Those are the ones that you call broke and lazy. Those are the ones who you in their Those are that's who they are, bro. Those are the stupid ones. The ones that you expect to pay $100 to come see you perform. I'm while you here watching me perform. And what I'm doing, I'm in the backstage knocking your off. What? This is what we're talking about, bro. And this is why this business doesn't want that no more, bro. That's why the people don't want that no more. That's why Beyonce has the #1 record. It's a dance record. That's why Taylor Swift is killing it. She's dropped 7 versions of a dance album. And that's why 21 Savage and Drake are going around killing it. That's why Lupe Fiasco is going around killing it right now, because people don't want death and destruction anymore. They turn around and they see it every time they turn on their television. Their kids are being brainwashed by it. Now, bro, when I was a kid, we had to practice fire drills. Now, my kids practice active shooter drills. What the are we talking about, bro?
Facts.
This is a reality, man.
That's facts.
And instead of us entertaining and educating, it's a declaration of war. I said it one time and I'm gonna say it again, bro. It's a declaration of war, man. It has not been about us trying to advance ourselves or advance our people. It's about us declaring war on anybody that doesn't want to help us achieve our goal. And that is destructive and detrimental.
I think it all comes in phases. Like, we're coming out of an era of a pandemic where people were just really unhappy all the time. So people are tired of negativity and unhappiness. They want positivity. They want to dance. They want to give. They want to live. They want to have positive interactions, not negative interactions. And I think that the artists that bring that right now are going to be leading the charge, and they're the ones that are going to get rich quick.
Yeah.
Or quicker.
Talk to me about what's going on. Talk to me about what it is you're doing to change it. Talk to me about how you're going to get out of it. Stop talking to me about killing the same people that look like you.
Killing your ops.
Stop talking to me about killing somebody. Stop talking to me about that. Talk to me about what you're doing to get out of your situation. Talk to me about what it is that you're going through that I may be able to relate to, so I can feel like I'm not the only one and don't end my life, and find comfort and solace in your music and in your message. Talk to me, bro. Stop talking at me. Stop bragging at me, man. Stop making me feel like I'm less for entertainment. Start uplifting me. Give me something that I could chant. That's why we loved some of those older
connection.
records, bro. We loved that. We stood in the clubs and we chanted that because that shit, it made us feel like we were that. And we pivoted a little bit, bro. And it's bothered me. And we got to change that. And listen, I still listen to the Shoot 'Em Up Bang Bang. And I still listen to Happy People. And I still listen to Outstanding. And I still listen to R&B and country and Spanish music. My spectrum is way left and way right. I like what I like. But I also know how to separate it. I know what entertainment is from reality. And in 2023, there is no separation. These guys believe that their imitation is reality. They believe that they have to be this uber gangster or this uber slut or this uber promiscuous person or not, give me all the pronouns you want because that's how I'm accepted now. It's no longer gone of being an individual. It's gone to now wanting to be accepted. And I think that's why we want to find our community. We need to build our own community, man, because you don't have to be a part of nobody else. Start your own. And if you're nourishing and providing for your community, then they'll want to be a part of your dude.
I was in the comments on the cheat code at Get the Cheat Code on Instagram, and they were like, man, Ferrari, I understand what you're saying, but you can't make artists care. And I said, I want them to care. That's my only thing. I just want you to care, especially as much as I do. Because if you don't care, let me know so I can remove myself from the space.
Because I care.
Because I care. That's why I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm no use to you if I don't care. If I don't care, then you would know for sure.
Well, if you didn't care, I wouldn't see you.
I care.
You'd be out.
I care.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't do
care
for
too.
anybody else. I do because it has to be done because I care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It bothers me when I sit there and I see something that I know is wrong and it's past 15 people's hands and it got to me. Because now if I say something, which one of those 15 people is responsible for it?
Right.
That's right.
Which one of those 15 people seen it and passed it along until it got to me, the peon at the lower end of the stick, and then have to go back and now it's disrupted everything. So now Kingpin is no longer an asset. Kingpin is a disruptor. Because every time it comes to Kingpin, he finds the problem or the flaw in it. Never, let's give it to Kingpin first to prevent the finding the flaw. But every time it gets to Kingpin, there's a flaw or a problem in it.
Which is why I enjoy working with you, because we iron everything out super early before the song even comes out.
Not
We
me, I
try
make
to,
him
yeah.
fix everything.
We try. We try. And at the end of the day, but that's why we have to communicate. And that's why us being co-workers and being friends, being more than just associates, why all of that is super important. Because in a random text message, hey, how's the wife doing? Don't forget we got to line up this run. And by the way, what you got going on? And those three emotions can be conveyed in 20 words in one text message. And there's going to be no ulterior motives. Like, why are you asking me what I'm doing, what you want? You need me to do something for you?
Right.
You know where I'm going to be at. So there's none of that with us. And
Right.
I think when
Facts,
we talk
facts,
to each
facts.
other,
Agreed.
I think that's there. So if Wendy may have done something, or I may have done something, or Rory may have done something, and it's not where it needs to be, I think that each of us have that ability to call and be like, hey, I fixed that. Let's get that right so that we don't have to encounter that again because it had to
Exactly.
be right.
Right.
And that's where we win. That's
Exactly.
where they're trying to get to.
Right.
How do I find those people, Kingpin? How much do I pay those people? What do they want when I find those people? How do I keep them around? And the only thing I can say is do for them what you would want them to do for you. I give whatever attention to Rari, whatever attention to Wendy, and whatever they're working because I want that reciprocated towards me. And whenever I call, it is reciprocated because I give freely without expecting. Because expectations will ruin any relationship or
I agree with
friendship,
that.
right? So if you do for somebody expecting them to do something in return, stop. Do for somebody and expect you to learn what it is that you
There you
did,
go.
why it is you're doing it.
There you go.
Learn humility. Sometimes we ask God to teach us lessons, and He gives us those lessons in the form of something that we may not have enjoyed too much.
But we can't ignore it.
My
We
wife
gotta
told me
learn
the other
from
day,
it.
she said, I was asking God for patience, and He sat me down in the dentist's office for 4 hours.
There's your patience.
Perspective, though.
Yeah.
Perspective. Like, I asked for it, and when it gave it to me, it was
That's a
something that I
long
had
time,
to
Nikki.
learn.
Yeah, 4 hours.
Nikki,
is-
for real, you said that?
So
That's a long time.
when you
That's a long
think about that, man, it's all
Root canal?
it's all perspective, man. It's what it is
worse?
that we have to come up with every day. It's what we're up against. It's, hey, man, you could do what Little Uzi does, but you don't know how much money the label has invested into it, how many hours Little Uzi goes into the studio recording. Hey, man, you could be just as good as Glorilla. You don't know how many songs her and Hit Kid had to record before they came up with F&F.
You don't know.
You
Yeah.
don't know
Don't
all
know.
of those things. You just know that one moment happened and it's here and they're excelling. So you think, there's no way Ice Spice puts in all that work. Let me tell you something, bro.
Yes, she
If
does.
you've ever had a record on the radio and you're on a radio run, there is no way that you could tell me that you are a lazy artist. Because
Agreed.
that get up and go, airport the plane, and sit in radio stations and smile and get on a camera, and backstage and in the car, you're a disaster. You're screaming at everybody, you're fighting with everybody. When you get out of the car, you're smiling. Hey, how you doing, everybody?
Difficult.
All right, I gotta get
Very
on stage. My stomach hurts. I
draining.
done ate some cheese. I know I'm lactose intolerant.
Could be that
My
time
head
of the
is
month.
messed
She's
up.
a
It could be
female.
that. And I'm getting up here and I still gotta, and I gotta munch it and I gotta do all this other. Y'all don't like it. That's cool. It's not for you to like. There
She
are
has people that like it.
millions
She has people that love it.
love
Actually.
it.
of fans
Yes.
that love it. So you know what?
Yes.
To any artist out there, as long as you know what you're doing and you're working towards your goal, getting a song on the radio and going to do these radio shows, that's getting that's the goal. Keeping your song on radio. That's why you go
Exactly.
do all of these shows
Agreed.
to keep your songs on radio.
I also have to tell you that her manager grew up in the music industry. I remember her manager sitting in the office where I was working at 7 years old.
Come on.
At 7 years old, he was sitting there after school learning how all this
Interning.
works. Yes.
Interning.
Yeah, at 7.
Come on, man. He
Yes.
was soaking it up.
Sounds
Yes.
like he put in some time.
Yes.
to where the point of where
Yes.
they could sit there and do an interview, and she said that the reason they're winning is because they use their own money.
Yep. They
What a
kept
concept.
ownership. Wow.
What a concept.
Yep. They kept ownership.
Put your money where your mouth is. Wow. And it worked.
And that's how they leveraged their deal, I believe.
It
too.
is.
And there's going to be 100 other people
Which
that
is
are
the
going to
world
want to
star.
come in and invest their own money. And I
After
just hope they're
10K.
doing the right thing. And I hope
I think they are.
They take Ice Spice's
They're
success.
very well connected.
They take Glorilla's success. They take all of the success of all of these young brothers and sisters. Tootsie, your boy Peasy, Skrilla Baby, Icewear Vezo, all of these different guys that are bubbling right now. Learn from this and pass the game on. Learn from this and pass the game on. What did you learn that was different when Gotti got on, Glorilla? And if you're not asking Gotti what's different now from when he got on that you got on, so that you could teach and train the next one, then let's stop that from being a problem and let's correct that now because Gotti has helped you get to where you are. The team, F&F, the crew, the producer, everybody else. What are you learning? What did Gotti teach you that he didn't know? Ask him that so that you in turn can teach your friends, so that maybe you might be able to pull up on a gloss up and say, hey, are you doing this? Maybe you guys could be doing this on the backside. We're friends. I just want you to know that's what this is. We always help each other. If not, what are you doing it alone? Then go do it alone. Show me, Thug Life. Show me you do it alone.
Impossible to do it alone.
Show me. Don't tell me you do it alone. Show me you do it alone. And I'm gonna laugh my ass. Somebody driving your ass to the studio, somebody paying for the cell phone, somebody getting you the beat, somebody giving you the beat, somebody designing the cover, somebody uploads your music. You don't know how to upload your own music because you don't have the login. You don't have the password. And the password goes to somebody else's email. And you gotta call somebody else to get the code to get inside your distro kid to upload it. And then when you upload it, you don't even know you don't know the producer's name. Extra credits. What is that? TikTok.
Mood.
Yes. How do I type yes in TikTok? There's only room for numbers here. You know what they click on? They click on at the bottom on the distro kid. They click at the bottom where it says, "Do you want a toenail clipper for $10?" I'll bullshit you not, bro. Log into your distro kit and upload your song. At the very end of those options, there's going to be two of them. One of them is going to offer you a toenail clipper for $14.99, and the other one is going to offer you a kid's book on the music business. How many people have gotten the kids' book from the music business without asking for it and then didn't bother to read it? Maybe if you would have read it, it would have taught your goofy to read before you click Bozo the Clown. You just I don't know what it means, but I gotta be out there right now. Jack. And then you wonder why you're sitting around broke and somebody else running the bank with your money.
With your
it's
money.
Somebody else in the Bahamas right now off of your streaming record. You and everybody you know don't make no money off of y'all music. Cool. Somebody make money
is.
off of it. And they get paid off of it, bro.
That's real.
Cheat code.
Get 2 cups. One so you can put your tears in, and the other one so you can put your coffee in.
I love you so much.